In the coastal town of Millfield, where the ocean breeze carried the whispers of untold secrets, Logan, Sage, Mark, and Emily were more than just childhood friends. They were an inseparable quartet, bonded by years of shared laughter, tears, and dreams. Logan, the charismatic leader of the group, had always been the glue that held them together, his infectious smile and unwavering loyalty a constant source of comfort and support. But as time passed and the friends grew older, their paths began to diverge. Logan's keen eye for opportunity led him to make a daring investment in Bitcoin, a decision that would change his life forever. As his wealth grew, so too did the distance between him and his childhood companions, who watched with a mixture of pride and envy as Logan's star ascended. On a fateful summer night, beneath the watchful gaze of a moonlit sky, the four friends gathered to celebrate their reunion, each harboring secrets and desires that threatened to shatter the illusion of their unbreakable bond. Little did they know that the evening would mark a turning point in their lives, setting in motion a chain of events that would forever alter the course of their destinies. As the reunion continued into the night, the once light-hearted atmosphere began to shift, an undercurrent of tension bubbling beneath the surface. Logan, caught up in the nostalgia of their shared past and the warm glow of the setting sun, remained oblivious to the subtle changes in his friend's demeanor. Unbeknownst to him, Sage, Mark, and Emily had been harboring a secret, a deep-seated resentment that had festered over the years, fueled by their own unfulfilled dreams and the growing disparity between their lives and Logan's. They had watched from afar as he had risen to success, a bitter mixture of pride and jealousy consuming them with each passing day. In the days leading up to the reunion, whispers of a plan had begun to take shape, born from the darkest corners of their hearts. They had gathered in secret, their hushed voices barely audible over the pounding of their own hearts as they plotted and schemed, driven by a desperate desire to claim a piece of Logan's fortune for themselves. As the sun began to set, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, Sage pulled Mark and Emily aside, her voice low and urgent. "Are we really going through with this? It feels wrong, like we're betraying Logan's trust." Mark's eyes narrowed, his voice cold and calculating. "We've been in his shadow for too long, Sage. It's time we take what's rightfully ours. Logan's had it easy, and now it's our turn." Emily shifted uncomfortably, her gaze darting between her two friends. "I don't know, guys. Maybe we should just talk to Logan, tell him how we feel. We don't have to do anything drastic." Mark scoffed, his lips curling into a sneer. "Talk? You think that'll change anything? No, we need to take action. Tonight, on the boat, we'll make our move. Just stick to the plan, and everything will work out fine." Sage and Emily exchanged a glance, their expressions a mix of uncertainty and resolve. They knew there was no turning back now, the wheels of fate already set in motion. As the night enveloped the coastal town, Mark suggested a moonlit excursion on his boat, a final adventure to celebrate their reunion. Logan, caught up in the moment, eagerly agreed, as did Sage and Emily, their smiles belying the darkness that lurked beneath. The four friends set out onto the calm waters, the moon casting a silvery glow upon the ocean's surface. They laughed and reminisced, the years melting away as they reveled in each other's company. But as the night wore on and the drinks flowed freely, the atmosphere began to shift. The laughter became strained, the conversation more subdued. Logan, his senses dulled by the alcohol, failed to notice the subtle glances exchanged between his friends, the unspoken tension that hung in the air. As the boat drifted further from shore, Logan's memories grew hazy, the events of the night blurring together like a half-remembered dream. The last thing he could recall was the sound of the waves lapping against the hull, the distant echo of laughter. And then, nothing. The morning sun cast a harsh light upon the town of Millfield, its warm glow a stark contrast to the icy fear that gripped the hearts of its residents. Logan, the golden boy with the world at his feet, had vanished without a trace, leaving behind a community stunned by his sudden and inexplicable disappearance. As the authorities launched their investigation, whispers began to spread like wildfire, each more sinister than the last. Some spoke of foul play, of jealous rivals and scorned lovers, while others speculated about the dangers of Logan's newfound wealth, of the enemies he may have made on his rise to the top. But as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the trail grew colder, hope fading with each passing sunset. Logan's friends, once the pillars of support and comfort, found themselves under the harsh glare of suspicion, their every move scrutinized and dissected by the watchful eyes of the community. Sage, Mark, and Emily, questioned separately by the authorities, offered conflicting accounts of the night's events, their stories riddled with inconsistencies and half-truths. They claimed to have returned to shore together, parting ways in the early hours of the morning, but the shadows of doubt lingered, casting a pall over their once unbreakable bond. As the investigation progressed, a new lead emerged. A local fisherman came forward, claiming to have seen a boat matching the description of Mark's vessel drifting aimlessly near the shore in the early hours of the morning after Logan's disappearance. The authorities, desperate for any clues, launched a search of the surrounding waters, hoping to find some trace of the missing man or the boat itself. But as the days stretched on, their efforts proved fruitless, the trail growing colder with each passing hour. As the investigation deepened, a disturbing discovery came to light. Logan's hotel room had been ransacked, his belongings scattered across the floor like the pieces of a shattered life. The hardware wallet, the key to his digital fortune, was nowhere to be found, vanished into the ether like a wisp of smoke. The community, once a bastion of peace and tranquility, found itself torn apart by the weight of suspicion and fear, neighbor turning against neighbor as the search for answers consumed them all. And through it all, the question remained, a haunting refrain that echoed through the streets and alleyways of Millfield. What had happened to Logan on that fateful night? Years have passed since Logan's disappearance, but the mystery remains unsolved, a gaping wound that refuses to heal. The story of the young man with a fortune in Bitcoin, vanished without a trace, has become a cautionary tale whispered among the locals, a reminder of the fragility of even the most unbreakable bonds. Sage, Mark, and Emily, once the closest of friends, have drifted apart, each bearing the weight of their own secrets and lies. The truth of that night, known only to them, remains hidden beneath layers of deceit and betrayal, a burden they will carry to their graves. But even as the years pass and the town of Millfield moves on, the questions linger, haunting the dreams of those left behind. Was Logan's disappearance a tragic accident, a cruel twist of fate that claimed a bright and promising life? Or was it something more sinister, a calculated act of betrayal born from the darkest depths of the human heart? Recent findings have shed new light on the events leading up to Logan's disappearance, a tantalizing glimpse into the shadows that have long obscured the truth. Security footage from a local coffee shop, long forgotten in the annals of the investigation, has surfaced, revealing a clandestine meeting between Sage, Mark, and Emily on the very night before Logan vanished. Eyewitnesses, despite the haze of time clouding their memories, have stepped forward with bits and pieces of overheard conversations, fragments of dialogue that suggest a sinister motive behind the reunion. Sage's enigmatic words, "I'm not sure I can do this," followed by Emily's muted response, "I'll just visit with him and take it. We don't need to do anything else." And Mark's foreboding retort, "That won't be sufficient," create an image of a scheme set in motion, a plot fueled by envy and avarice. In the weeks following the discovery of the footage, a new theory began to circulate among the residents of Millfield. Some whispered that Logan had staged his own disappearance, driven by a desire to escape the pressures of his newfound wealth and start anew somewhere far from the prying eyes of his past. They pointed to his recent behavior, his growing distance from his friends, and his cryptic comments about wanting to leave it all behind as evidence of his plan. But others dismissed this idea as mere speculation, arguing that Logan would never abandon his friends or his fortune so easily. However, as the investigation delved deeper into the mysterious circumstances surrounding Logan's disappearance, the focus shifted back to his closest friends and the cryptic conversation they had at the coffee shop. The newly discovered footage cast a shadow of doubt over their intentions and makes one ask the question about the true nature of their relationship. Could it be that Sage, Mark, and Emily, driven by years of jealousy and resentment, had conspired to betray their once-beloved friend? Had they plotted to steal Logan's fortune, claiming for themselves the wealth and status they had long envied? Or was there an even darker motive at play? A twisted act of vengeance fueled by bitterness and a sense of being left behind? As the theories swirled and the evidence mounted, it became increasingly clear that the key to unraveling the mystery of Logan's disappearance lay in the tangled web of relationships that had once bound the four friends together. The question remained, had their bond been strong enough to withstand the temptations of greed and the corrosive effects of time, or had it crumbled under the weight of secrets and betrayal? The footage, grainy and indistinct, offers no clear answers, only more questions to be added to the ever-growing list of mysteries surrounding Logan's disappearance. But one thing is certain: the once unbreakable bond between the four friends, forged in the crucible of childhood and tempered by the passage of time, has been shattered beyond repair. The trust and loyalty that once defined them lost forever to the shadows of suspicion and betrayal. And so, as the waves continue to crash upon the shores of Millfield, the answers remain elusive, lost to the depths of the ocean and the shadows of the human heart. The story of Logan, the boy with the Bitcoin fortune, has become a mystery that may never be solved, a testament to the destructive power of greed and the fragility of even the strongest friendships. But perhaps, in the end, the truth is not what matters most. Perhaps the real tragedy lies not in the answers we seek, but in the questions we are forced to ask, the doubts that gnaw at the very fabric of our being. For in the face of such uncertainty, such darkness, what can we do but cling to the hope that somewhere, somehow, the light of truth will finally shine through, illuminating the shadows and bringing peace to the restless spirits of the past? Until that day comes, the mystery of Logan's disappearance will endure, a haunting reminder of the darkness that lurks within us all, waiting to be unleashed upon the world. And as we ponder the possibilities and share our theories, we must ask ourselves, are we truly prepared to face the truth, no matter how terrible it may be? Or are we, like the town of Millfield, destined to be forever haunted by the ghosts of our own making, the secrets we dare not speak aloud? In the end, only time will tell if his story ends here.